Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, just want to say, please remember to follow me on social media if you can, if you want to. Vicky Marie Chat, Spanish and English. I was going to say Con Vicky then, I was in my Spanish mode. On YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. At Vicky Marie Chats True Cat Crime, Facebook Vicky Marie Chats, X or Twitter, Learn Vicky 196953, and Instagram Vicky Marie Chats. Also, please don't forget to like or subscribe this video. Thank you so much. Now then, oh my god, have I just switched everything off? No, it's come back. You know, every day's a drama, isn't it? It's funny, isn't it? Our days, they're only little dramas most of the time, if we're lucky. Of course, some people, they go through big dramas and terrible things that happen to people. But little things can still get on your nerves, can't they? And so I'm going to have a little waffle about little things that got on my nerves this morning. And the thing is, as much, the reason I do that as well is a lot of people like the waffle. If you don't like the waffle, you need to maybe wait 10 minutes before I get into the video proper. Because what we're going to talk about in this video is Madeleine, not Madeleine's father, Julia Wandel, the fake Madeleine, who's just been found guilty of harassment and McCanns, but cleared of stalking. We're going to talk about what her dad, her real dad, her biological dad, even though she keeps trying to deny that it is, what he's got to say about everything. And, you know, you've got to spare a thought for that family. It seems like Julia's been given everything in life, really, but she did go through a terrible experience because she was abused. So there's that. And we're going to look at all that. And what I want you to really tell me is what you think. But also, I just want to say that this is the last video that I will be doing about Julia, except maybe when she gets her sentence, because I think she's had it, you know, the attention that she's wanted. She's had enough attention from people, and Julia needs to move on and find another way of getting attention. But I'm doing this video because I wanted to say something about how her family feel about it, because I wanted to look at it from their point of view. And as I say, I will do a video when it comes to her sentencing, or I may not even do a video. I may just do a post, a community post. And then I hope, you know, she can move on. But so that's what we'll be talking about in the main body of this video. After I've had my little... but it's like a moan, isn't it? But do you know what? You've got to get things out, haven't you? So there's a few this morning. First thing that happened this morning, it didn't happen. I had to change my bedding. I hate changing the bedding. We should have a stream one night where you tell me what your pet hates are. Like there's some things that I really hate doing. And one of them is changing my bedding. I hate all that taking, you know, I mean, it's so pathetic, really, you know, taking the duvet cover off all the, because I have 6 pillows as well. I like a lot of pillows, and it's just a faff, isn't it? And then putting the duvet cover back on again and blah, 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 blah. So in the summer, it's a lot easier because you don't need a duvet. But of course, we're back to duvet time now here in Spain. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm here in mainland Spain. It is 16 degrees at the moment. It's lovely and sunny outside. We're at that time of year where it's warmer outside than it is in. I will be getting some sun shortly up on the roof when I finish this video before I make lunch. And then I'll be doing another thing that I hate doing, which is cleaning the roof. But anyway, there you go. So yeah, I changed the bedding, and you know, it's like it's hardly a great big trial, is it? But I just don't like doing it. I mean, you know, we've all got things that we don't like doing. I'm sure there's some things that other people don't like doing that I don't mind doing. But changing the bedding is one thing. Oh, here's Riley, come say hello. Hello, baby. Well, saying hello, baby. He's a naughty boy. So then I took the dogs out to the dog park, and you think, oh, that there were no dogs there, so it was nice and quiet. Oh, and then that all went wrong because all the leads got tangled up, and Riley not being helpful at all. The thing about Riley is you can't let him off the lead, even in the dog park, because it's quite big, the dog park. And although he can't run away, not that he would run away, he just won't come back to the lead. So you can't let him off the lead. I've got like a dual lead. So what I do is I let him off. I let him and my other dog Rocky, they're tied together, and I let them run off together. But because I know Rocky will come back as soon as I call him, he'll come back, but Riley won't. So I can't even let him off the lead in the dog park, because otherwise it could be an hour just trying to get him to come back onto the lead. So he was twisting it all up and round at the point when they had two leads, and it all got so I was like half an hour trying to untangle the leads. Yes, you. And as I'm trying to untangle them, he's not helping by just sitting there quietly. He's pulling every time. So every time I nearly get him untangled, he pulls off again, and they go taut again, and I have to do it all over again. So that was that. Then I went and did a bit of shopping. And then, so I bought myself some, because I haven't had any for ages, any cranberry juice. And I do like cranberry juice. And I thought, oh, yeah, let's have some cranberry juice and it's antioxidants or something it's supposed to have in it. And then I was reminded, and it's not just the cranberry juice. I don't know about you, but these bloody things, these new things that I know are supposed to save the environment. I understand that. I want to save the environment. But does it really save the environment? That these are attached now, and when you open them, they're murder to open, aren't they? And then when you pour them, it goes everywhere. So it's your milk. It's everything, isn't it now, these cartons? Everything. Anyway, so I'm sorry, and I know maybe I'm being a bad person, but I cut them off because I can't be doing with it, because then you end up actually, and even when you cut them off, so you end up with like a sharp bit here, so you can't actually drink out the carton. And I know, ring the police, hold the phone. I do drink out the carton. I'm sure that went inside that. They're all sharp and sticky, aren't they? It's sticking your lips and everything. So it's like, I know you shouldn't drink out the carton, but we all do it, don't we? And if you don't do it, well, good for you. You must be perfect, must be murder being perfect. So, yeah, I've cut it off. And then it's easier to touch it. I just, honestly, does it really help the environment doing that? I know it's because they say about the lids. Do you remember when they used to, you could take the lids somewhere, couldn't you? I remember saving bottle lids, tops off bottles of water, and you would donate them to a charity who would take them somewhere and get money for them. So what was wrong with that? Why can't we just still do that? That you get, you get, maybe you can donate them to a charity, and the charity, because this is just one thing. So they've done that, which is just irritating everybody. And then there's other things, there's still loads of plastic wrapping on everything. The things that should be stopped. When I get a supermarket order, everything's put in plastic bags and everything. I think, do they really need to put all these plastic bags? When I buy washing machine tabs, I should have brought that out to show you. So you get a ball with it, to put the washing machine, the tab in when you put it in the washer. But you get one of those every time you buy a box of washing machine tabs. Well, you only need one. I mean, how many do you need? So every time you buy a box of washing machine tabs, you get one of them plastic balls to put your washing machine tab in when you do your washing. But it's totally unnecessary. You only need one. So you should buy that separately. Or they should sell boxes with washing machine tab, with washing machine ball, without washing machine ball. So if you've already got one, you don't need to buy the ball again. Do you know? So this is just lip service to me. I don't see that it makes much difference. I think there are other things you could do. It's irritating. Look, you've got all those sticky out bits now at the side, which will make it difficult to actually drink from the carton if you want to. And why shouldn't I drink from the carton if I want to? Yeah. Sorry. So that was just a little rant. That's it. Finished now. Finished with ranting now. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of you, like, subscribe, all of you who just even watching. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And a special thank you, as always, to my members, and a special thank you to those of you who've either bought me a Ko-fi, sent super sticker, PayPal'd me. Thank you so much. All of that makes a big difference. And hello to you lovely lurkers, and hello to replay crew. You're all very special people. I hope you're all well, because you probably, maybe you're got bigger problems than changing your bedding or getting your dog leads tangled up. I'm sorry about that, but it's important that little things are irritating for people as well. As far as the dog lead's concerned, because I'm having a little moan again, but I've got a real as I'm old, I'm really old, so I get arthritis, so I've got this really bad wrist, so untangling all the dog lead and everything. I know there's a lot of you out there, they're not like a lot of people, not any age to be honest, but especially as you get older, suffering from little things. They are little things, but they're big things when you've got to go and do stuff, carrying your shopping, taking your dogs out and stuff like that, when you've got to carry on and do the things that you always used to do without any problem. Now everything takes a bit longer, doesn't it? Oh, that's right. So as I came out of the supermarket, now, I don't know if any of you have ever noticed if you've been to Spain, but the pavements are really high. I mean, really, really high. So there's like a zebra crossing just outside the supermarket that I needed to go over to, go to my car. And there's a guy parked there in a van right over the zebra crossing. But the zebra crossing is the only bit where it's like, it's low, so that you don't have to step down off a massive pavement, which for me with my knees, I mean, it's not impossible, but you don't have to think about it. So I had a little moan at him. And I said, oh, you parked on the zebra. Anyway, bless him, he did move. I'd got down I'm not that bad that I can't get down the curb. It's just that it's a bit harder than it used to be to get, because they're bloody massive, the curbs in Spain. Anyway, it did move then. So the thing is, if somebody was coming there with a wheelchair or a pushchair or anything, the curb would be a real problem for them. Anyway, it did move, so to be fair. Okay, so I'm going to come into the chat now, see what you're all saying, and thank you for joining in the chat. Thank you for being brave enough to join into the chat. Okay, hi Blue. How are you? Hope you're well. Hi Sunburst. Hi Aman. Hi Lily. Hi Ricardo. Lots of new people in the chat, strange. Hi Justin. Hi Chris. Hi Jordana. Hi Lily. Yeah, I think there's a few little trolls in here. I can't be asked messing about with trolls, so they just go straight away. Hi Darren. Sorry, hi Darren. Hi Isla. What do you mean I'm doing a long stream, Blue? Okay, so, the other thing that happened this morning that was so irritating was when I came onto my streaming channel. So they've put these new things in that are supposed to be better for us streamers. So they've given us like a horizontal display and a vertical display like people would see on their mobiles, which is great, but it's like everything's duplicated now. So, I'm going to try my best to keep up with it. Okay, so this is what I want you to know about. Want you to let me know about Julia as we go through this. Do you think she's bad or do you think she's ill? This is what her dad says. She's not bad. She's sick, and I agree with it up to a point. But we've got to remember that during the trial, her lawyer said she did not have any mental illness. She was just depressed. So this is the official thing. I can't make my mind up about Julia. There are times when I feel very sorry for her. There are other times when I think, well, she doesn't feel sorry for anybody else. She's only, interested in herself. And then I sort of lose the sympathy that maybe I had for her before. But I go up and down with that. I mean, at the end of the day, I wish her well. I hope she sort of moves on, sorts her life out, and stops trying to pretend to be other people and just is Julia. Because it seems to me that Julia, she's had a good start in life. Her parents care about her. She's been given everything she wanted, but I know that she was abused. And that's what we're going to look at. And that obviously, as far as her dad is concerned, that is apparently what changed Julia so much. So we'll see. We'll see how we get on. I'm not. Do you know what I'm doing, Blue? I'm doing both. It's StreamYard advised me to press both. I may change it to just, I don't know if I can change it now. I may change it to, this is the thing with, I know a lot of things that people bring in, there's supposed to be improvements. They're not improvements, are they? It just makes it more complicated. As I'm looking at my screen now, I've got the vertical screen on one side and I've got the horizontal screen on the other side. Right, I think most of those trolls have gone now. What were those trolls all about? These weird trolls that you get? They're like bots that go through it from channel to channel. Weird, isn't it? The vertical streams attract weirdos and trolls. Yeah, those were weird and trolls, weren't they? I don't know if they're trolls or bots. I don't know what they are. Anyway, do you know what? I just like a simple life. I can't be asked. So I just took them off anyway. So I've got 0 tolerance at the moment for trolls. I just can't be bothered. Life's too short, isn't it? David, you thought I was just finishing when you joined the stream. Yeah, I knew it would make it more complicated. How do I turn it off? I don't know how to put it off now. I've started. I won't be doing it again next time. I'll just be doing vertical. I hope I'm not, it's not confusing everybody. I don't think I can change it now. Let's just get on with this, but next time I will be doing just the vertical. And thank you for letting me know that, Blue. I didn't know that. This is a bit, StreamYard is sort of like saying, oh, do this, do that. And so I just did what they advised me, but of course they're not always correct, are they? So Julia's dad has oh god, they're still here. What do I do? How do I get this off? Oh, David, I think I banned you by mistake. Oh no. Oh, David, I didn't mean to ban you. I meant to ban the... Do you look, this is causing absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. Hi, Paul. Hi, Lily. Oh, dear. I've banned David and I don't know how to not ban him. How do I... Oh, God. David, I hope you're listening. You can hear that I haven't banned you. Not really. I didn't mean to ban you. Let's see. Got to find out how to unban you now. This is StreamYard's fault. This is StreamYard's fault because they made me do it. Let's see. Dashboard. Oh, hang on. I think I can find my way to... I can't work out now how to unban David. Right, let's see. Now I should be able to find a way of... I don't know how to unban him. So, I don't know how to unban David. I'd have to unban everyone, I think, or something. No, I don't know. He's got to be here somewhere. Oh, dear me. Ah, there he is. Right, I've unbanned him. So, David, if you're still watching, you might have thought I was banning him. No, I blocked. I've put him back now. He should come back on now. David, if you're back, let me know. I didn't mean to ban you. I meant to ban the person that was underneath your comment, and I pressed the wrong one. So anyway, let's go and have a look. Gosh, bloody hell! I knew it was good. Every day is one of those days, isn't it? Oh, so in the meantime, we're going to read about Julia first, but in the meantime, just in case you didn't know, Christian B., the main suspect, supposedly, who the German police said was definitely guilty, he's been allowed to leave Germany. So his conditions of release, part of them was that he had to wear, he's got to wear like an electronic monitor. He wasn't allowed to leave the country, etc. But now it's been decided that he can leave the country. How's that going to work with the electronic monitor? So what happens when he steps over the border to another country? Does the electronic monitor, I presume it still works then all over Europe? So the court apparently has said that restrictions breach his right to freedom of movement. So, this man, he could be near you. Now, of course, Britain's not, if you're in the UK's not part of Europe now. So I don't know how that will affect that. Just no idea. But anyway, he was released in September. So don't forget, even though, I don't believe for a minute that he had anything to do with Madeleine's disappearance, he is an RAPIST, or that was what he was found guilty of, and that's the sentence that is served for raping in an elderly American woman in Portugal. So what's the truth here? You know, it's very strange, isn't it? Anyway, he's allowed to leave Germany now, so when you go on holiday anywhere in Europe, he could be there, because he likes to he likes his freedom of movement. Oh God, is this a bloody this is Mark Williams Twonk, isn't it? Video. Let's watch this video on here. I haven't looked at my, you know, so there's a few people, Mark Williams Twonk, Peter Folding, and now Julia, that I won't be talking about again, because they want you to talk about them, don't they? At the end of the day, that's what they want. So let's have a look when this advert finishes, what Mark Williams Twonk had to say. So what do you think about that? I mean, you know, this guy. Right, come on, we've watched the advert. We want to watch the video now. Oh, don't want to look at the supermarket. Why is the video not playing? Oh, it's one of those days, isn't it? Nothing's working properly. Loading the ad again. Don't want to watch the ad again. Nothing. Oh, I hope you're all talking between yourselves, because nothing's working. Hi, Shay. He's replying on DC. Right. David, I've definitely unblocked you now. You should be able to come back on now. God. What a crazy, crazy world. I can't get this video to load. Am I really that bothered about watching Mark Williams Twonk anyway? Oh, God, it's gone. Why is it not working? Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. No, I don't want to see dear. No, I can't be doing with that. So I'm going to go back to the mail where I was. We're going to talk about, it's just chaos, isn't it? He's replying on DC. Yeah, so yeah, I've been to my settings. Let's see if I can do it this way. I've definitely unblocked him. Definitely unblocked him, but I have to look at it after, because oh, this stream's turned into a disaster. It's a disaster, darling. So yeah, apparently she said to him, Daddy, I love you, but you're not my dad. I am Madeleine McCann, the father of the Polish fantasist who believes she was missing Maddie, reveals their heartbreaking last meeting and insists that Julia is not bad, she's sick. So don't forget to let me know what you think. So the onslaught was relentless, the emotional toll incomprehensible. Despite a 2-year age difference, the insistence of her own Polish family, and even the cold, hard evidence of a DNA test, Julia Wandelt remained resolute. She was, she said, Madeleine McCann, who was 3 when she went missing on a family holiday to the Portuguese resort of Praia da Luz in 2007. And once she had reached that conclusion, there was, as Leicester Crown Court has heard these past 4 weeks, no stopping her. She delivered a barrage of calls, emails and messages, not just to Maddie's parents, Kate and Jerry, but also to their 20-year-old twins, Amelie and Sean. On one single day in April last year, 24-year-old Wandelt, who was born in the city of Gorzo, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, fired off more than 60 messages and calls to Kate. I know my accent is Polish because I live here. I know I look fat. Oh, and I know I'm not pretty like Madeleine was in the past. I mean, she's pretty, Julia. She just doesn't. She's just not Madeleine McCann. But I know what I know. I know what I remember, declared one. And then there was the letter addressed, Dear Mum. So all this came out during the trial, didn't it? And this is Julia when she was younger. She's an attractive girl. She'd put on a bit of weight as she got older, but she's still an attractive girl. She's only 22, for God's sake. Sorry, 24. You know, apparently she nearly became a model, or there were, you know, these photos, I think, come from photos that were taken. She is attractive. Anyway, each message must have felt like a painful twist of the knife to the McCanns, who, as Jerry admitted in his own evidence, still nurture a glimmer of hope that their little girl might be alive. And, you know, I've got to say one thing that Julia, I started to actually feel sorry for the McCanns for the first time. And I'll tell you what, you know, the only reason that my sympathy was limited for the McCanns, I don't know what happened to Madeleine. I've got my own ideas, of course, but nothing can be proved. But of course, ultimately, it comes down to the fact they should have never left the children alone in the first place. But then they're the ones who've got to live with that, aren't they? So I'm sure they have to live with that every day. Or if it was them that, you know, they do know what happened to Madeleine, they've got to live with that, haven't they? Wandel even turned up at the McCanns' home of Rothley, Leicestershire, twice. But she has been found innocent of stalking, but to turn up at someone's home twice, I don't understand how she was found innocent of stalking. She was only found guilty of harassment. So this is Julia at her communion, you know, in happier times. These are her half siblings, I think, half brother and half sister. Let's see if this video works any better.
En Do You Spain tienes el coche de alquiler perfecto a un solo clic. Reserva tu coche de alquiler en 3 minutos al mejor precio garantizado. Con una...
And please leave the premises. Look, I don't know what your investment is. No, don't listen. We're not having a discussion about it. The police are well aware about Julia and her situation.
But it's not lying.
How are you going to find that? We're not having a discussion. Please leave, but we will be.
I am not this. Ruby, I said to me, room me out. Room me out. Please take it.
Very sad, really. I mean, she just can't move.
Hello,
She's got to move on now.
Hello, I'm Julia. Can we talk, please? I don't want to disturb you. I just need to talk with you.
You must have the wrong number.
No, I know your voice, Jerry.
Ah. Yeah, he can't, you know, Jerry can't disguise his voice, can he? He's got a very distinctive voice, that's for sure. Very distinctive voice. But yeah, so, but she's been found not guilty, of course, of stalking. So the second time she had, and Karen Sprague, this woman has not been found guilty of anything. Honestly, she should be just found guilty of being a total twonk, shouldn't she? If nothing else, encouraging Julia. So she's been found not guilty of any offence, but audio recordings and messages document that she was a part of this whole upsetting saga. Don't you once find your daughter? Demanded Sprague, who was made subject of a 5-year restraining order, preventing her from contacting the McCanns as they accosted a terrified Kate. And the answer to that question is painfully obvious, and it certainly doesn't involve Wandel. Someone who undoubtedly knows the truth about Wandel's origins is her father, Jacek, a 60-year-old radiologist who works in the same hospital where his daughter was born. See, on the hospital records of her being born, I mean, how does she think she wasn't born there? Anyway, speaking exclusively to the Daily Mail, it's clear he struggled to come to terms with his daughter's actions, and weeping as he recalled the last time he saw her just before Christmas. He said, "When I saw her, it had been a while since she said she was Madeleine, and so I thought the situation was getting better, but I was wrong. We went for a drive, and just as she did when this all started a few years ago, she said to me, 'Daddy, I love you, but you are not my dad. I am Madeleine McCann.'" God, my stomach just hurt because, when you've got a child, an adult child with mental health issues like Julia, it's a helpless feeling that you have, because what can you just feel like, what can you do? Because when they become adults as well, you can't make them go to the doctor, you can't make them get help, you can't make them take medication. And when she turned around to him and said this, "Daddy, I love you, but you are not my dad." Now, notice she didn't call Jerry Daddy. She calls Kate Mum, and I've said this all along. She's very aware that Kate is the most vulnerable one. She's not tried calling Jerry Daddy, has she? But she's calling this man Daddy and then saying that he's not her dad. Anyway, he said to her, "I am your father, you are not Madeleine." But she wouldn't listen to me, no matter how much I tried to reason with her. And what on earth put this bright middle-class woman, who according to a barrister was depressed but not mentally ill, into the orbit of the McCanns? While she's never explained her motives, having spoken to her father and a former childhood friend, the Daily Mail has pieced together the story of a young woman who had a conventional, loving childhood until it was derailed when she was abused by a family member. And I think this is something that we always have to remember about Julia. She was abused, and it seems to have done something to her, and it does do things to people, doesn't it? It is this event that appears to have marked a fundamental change in Julia, turning her from an ambitious child who hoped to follow her father into the medical profession into a teenager who craved fame and the affirmation of strangers. Now, all teenagers go through difficult phases, don't they? But especially teenagers who've been abused when they were children. I mean, I don't know what what psychological help she's had, or I just don't know, but she seems to have. Oh, here's another video, let's watch this.
¿Quieres alquilar un coche en Ibiza?
So this is the video where she was
precio en
seen on the ring
videospain.com.
camera. Sorry,
Compara entre las mejores.
There they are, off to confront Kate with their coffee. Karen's got a coffee. I can't believe that woman hasn't been found guilty of anything. Just can't believe it.
I mean, all I'm going to say is what I said back in 2022. You are not Madeleine McCann, okay? I know that's hard to hear, and I know you've been told this by many people, but you have to remember we've worked on this investigation for since 2011. I've worked on this investigation.
I know.
Yeah.
But did you get results?
Yeah.
Can you give me a copy
Of what, sorry?
of DNA results?
Oh, we haven't sent the DNA. It's not being tested.
Why?
We can't spend public money on something like that when there's no...
Okay, I don't understand this because they told me, okay, so why are you... Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why are you saying without any testing that I am not Madeleine when I clearly can remember some things because I got flashbacks?
Yo, David, you're back. Thank God for that. Oh my God, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. Blocking you by accident. Oh God. Oh, you're back. You're back. Okay, good. So now we mustn't forget about Madeleine has done so many things for attention. It's quite, it's got to keep calling her Madeleine. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, Julia has done so many things for attention. And that is quite unusual for an abuse. So quite often people that have been abused, they go the other way, don't they? They go introverted. They don't want attention. They want to sort of disappear inside themselves. That's not how it's been for Julia at all, has it? So she's made attempts to be a model, a photographer, a singer, and apparently has even dabbled in X-rated material, which is very sad, traces of which remain online. And for the avoidance of doubt, according to the Daily Mail, and I know we complain about the Daily Mail, but they do get good exclusives, don't they? You've got to admit they do get good exclusives. The Daily Mail has seen a copy of Julia's birth certificate, which gives her date of birth as August 2001. When in August, I wonder? God, I hope she hasn't got the same birthday as me. They should probably a Leo. Leos like attention. 2 years before Madeleine was born, and lists her parents as Jacek and his then partner Dorota. Don't know how you pronounce that. While Wandel's parents were never married and they split when she was young. Oh, so they're split. The youngster had a comfortable upbringing with her mother, a businesswoman, and her stepfather, Peter, who works in finance. The couple moved to a wealthy suburb of Wrocław, the third largest city in Poland, when Julie was aged about 7. They have avoided public attention, selling their home and Dorota's clothing business in the wake of their daughter's arrest. You know, and you've got to feel for them, really. It must be so difficult because they will get a lot of attention. You know, Julia wants the attention. They don't want the attention. But Julia's heartbroken father, who lives with his current partner and their 2 children, a son aged 12 and a daughter 9, is haunted by memories of happier times. As he recounted the events that shaped his daughter's life, he often pleaded, why? While he says that geographical distance inevitably meant he was not as present in Julia's childhood as he would have liked. Well, you know, she's probably has got daddy issues, because he can say that as much as he likes, but basically what it means is he was otherwise engaged with another partner and other children, you know, and quite often children, when parents split up and have other children, you know, they do feel left behind, don't they? And everything. There's probably a bit of that with Julia, I think. And, you know, you can use distance as an excuse, but, you know, probably life got in the way, and, you know, even though maybe his current partner didn't really like him having anything to do with his ex-partner, you know, there's all those other things come into play. But Julia, she's got issues, hasn't she? You know, whatever. And I agree with you, M. Paul. How can the barrister say she hasn't got mental illness, but she's got depression? Because what is depression if it's not mental illness? And lots of other mental illnesses come out of depression. It's, you know, people get depressed, and that's when they start with other things, other problems. Anyway, so he points to photographs of his daughter growing up on family holidays, at parties with her paternal grandmother, at her first Holy Communion. Look at these pictures, he said. This is before all this madness started. You can see she is a happy, normal girl. But now that, you know, a lot of people go through a very, you know, adolescence changes a lot of people, doesn't it? For Jacek, the events so vividly described in court all began with his daughter being abused by her maternal step-grandfather, Peter Ney. Leicester Crown Court was told about the abuse, and official records in Poland seen by the Daily Mail document that Ney was convicted in 2012 and sentenced to 2 years in prison. So that is one thing she was telling the truth about, because he was convicted. He was 74 and she was 11. And in fact, only 9 when the abuse began. So, you know, you've got to feel very sorry for Julia for that. That is something no child should have to go through. And that, I think, you know, he's right. That will have changed Julia. But, you know, anyway, obviously, let me know what you think. I mean, I think this is the first time I've heard of that as being, you know, actually seen that so graphically as what had happened to Julia. He got 2 years. It's not much, is it? 2 years. He's probably out now, is he? Yeah, he'll be out. He'd be in his 80s now, will he? I mean, has he abused any other children? So Julia did, you know, go through it. So we have to take that into account, I suppose, don't we? But as I say, people that react to being abused in different ways. Probably most people who've been abused, they wouldn't want to hurt anybody else because they wouldn't want anyone to go through the hurt that they went through. But Julia sort of reacted in a different way. You know, she's reacted in an attention-seeking way. And as you say, David, that Spragg woman, she should be ashamed. I can't believe she's got away with not being found guilty. She should be ashamed of herself. She's 61 years old, and all those stupid YouTubers that encouraged Julia in her delusions, you know, for the sake of their channels, they should be ashamed of themselves as well. But at least with Julia, we can look at Julia and we can think she's been through it. You know, she's had trauma in her life and it probably has affected her, hasn't it? So it's very sad. 9 when she was abused. So that man is a monster, says Jasek, despair etched on his face. Up until then, Julia was happy, she was carefree. Then this man, I say man, he is a monster, molested her, and after that she changed completely. Oh, look, this is them arriving at the hotel.
¿Quieres alquilar un coche en Ibiza? Reserva tu coche al mejor precio en Do You Spain.
Yeah, the Christmas tree up, so this was this time last year. There they are arriving at the hotel. Oh, Karen, you are a nasty person. Nasty. So the Ibis Hotel. I like the Ibis Hotels in Birstall, Leicestershire. Aye. You know, they're lucky they've not been found guilty of stalking, because Julie would be, I don't know what sort of sentence. He's thought that the sentence she's going to get for harassment will probably be about 6 months, and she's already served more or less that. So she's probably going to be released and sent back to Poland. So she became withdrawn and wouldn't talk very much. She just closed up, put up a wall, and it was heartbreaking to see. The Daily Mail has also seen one of Wandel's school reports from her time at Wrocław's Polish-German elementary school, where she loved computer science and languages and was elected class president. Yeah. It charts the same path. Julia is an ambitious and hard-working person, notes her report from 2011 when she was 10. It also adds that she was cheerful, sociable, cultured, with wide interests, and interacts effortlessly with other children and maintains good relationships with them. But it goes on to note that she is undergoing psychiatric care. So even then she was undergoing psychiatric care. A noticeable change in the child's behaviour has been evident since January 2011. The teacher writes, the girl is sad. She reacts by crying to situations that do not go her way. And she still does that. She still does that, doesn't she? She did that in court. As soon as she's faced with truths that she doesn't want to know, like that she's not Madeleine and the DNA results and this, that and the other, she starts crying. One line is striking. She shows a strong need to be the centre of attention. And JSEC says the impact of Nay's abuse on Julie was stark. I will never forget one time when I saw Julia and she'd been squeezing a cactus plant with her bare hands. They were covered in blood and needles, but she wasn't saying anything. She was oblivious to the pain. Well, that's self-harming, isn't it? Self-harming is common in children that are abused. Sometimes when she came to visit me and my mother, she would sit at the table for hours, not saying a word, but just lining up all her toy animals. So the Daily Mail has also spoken to a childhood friend of Julia's who recalls a young woman who was broken by the abuse she had suffered. I think she just wanted to build herself up again rather than actually become famous, she says. Her relationships with her family were terrible. Oh, I think she wants to be famous, though. I do think she wants to be famous. It's like a lot of people want to be famous, don't they? And what did John Lennon say? You know, you spend all your time trying to get there and then you realise there is no there. A lot of people that want to be famous, they're always striving for that, but they're, you know, it doesn't fix you to be famous. In fact, it can make things worse, can't it? You know, some people are really happy with their lot, aren't they? I think that's, you know, I've noticed that more in Spain maybe than I did when I lived in the UK. I think most of the Spanish people I've met, they're happy not only with who they are, but also they're happy with where they live. They get a job and they're happy with that. They buy a house, they're happy with that. They're not always trying to move on to the next house, move on to the next job, move to the next area. You know, much more settled in their head than I think other societies are, other cultures. It's quite nice, really, isn't it? I mean, I've always been a sort of a bit of a gypsy. I've always wanted to move around. I've moved around all my life until I came to Spain. And then, of course, you have children and stuff, and that makes it harder to move around easily. But it's, you know, it must be nice to be happy with your lot, just happy with your life, your family, you know, your job, even though it might not be, you're not famous and it might not be a brilliant wage, or it might not even be the most interesting job in the world. Some people are happy with, you know, whatever job it is. And then other people are always striving for the next thing. But you never really get there, do you? Is it something that's inside you that some people are just always looking for the next thing? And other people don't, you know? Is it a personality trait? I don't know. Or is it a result of your, like, what happened to Julia? Or would Julia have been the same if that hadn't happened to her? Maybe that's just in her genetic makeup, in her, you know, I don't know. Would she always have strove for attention whether she had been abused or not? You know, because he's saying, no, she was different afterwards, which she would be, but she hadn't been through adolescence. Adolescence changes a lot of people, whether, you know, who haven't been abused, never mind. You know, adolescence is oh gosh, you know, it's, you just don't know what sort of person you're going to come out afterwards, do you? Anyway, so I don't know. To me, it strikes me that Julia does want to be famous. She wants the attention, and I don't think this will be the last of Julia. I hope it will. I hope she'll go and settle down, and maybe she could do with having a child, and then she'd have to sort of settle down. You know, sometimes you know, once you have children, of course you've got to put them first then, and you are not the most important person anymore. Your child is. Maybe that's what Julia needs. I don't know, but maybe it'd be a disaster. Just don't know, do we? We're all different. I hope whatever happens to Julia, I hope she finds some peace in herself. So the last contact between these friends was in early 2001. Where are we? Oh, look, see, there she is when she was a little girl. In early 2021, when Julia told her she had been in therapy for 2 years and she could see improvement. And looking at all that's elapsed since, the friend says she was simply looking for support anywhere she could find it. Oh. So she was only 4 there. So that was just a year older from when Madeleine went missing. So she looks nothing like... So if you look at that, I mean, she was 4. So just a year on from the last photos that we've got of Madeleine. Not even a year, because Madeleine was, I don't know, did Madeleine have a birthday coming up? She looks nothing like Madeleine. So, you know, it's clear that she's not Madeleine McCann. And that's her, a picture of her at, you know, similar age. So when she couldn't find it in her family, amongst her peers or from teachers, she looked for it on the internet. She liked singing. She started a YouTube channel. But back then it was just something people did because it was considered cool. So I wouldn't link it to her seeking attention. It simply gave her joy. But other evidence points to Wandel's desire for the spotlight. On one internet forum in 2015, she asked, "Am I suitable to be a photo model?" when she was 14. I think, again, that's quite common for girls, don't you think? Like, or boys, you know, if they want to be a model or they want to be a singer or an actor. Her modelling efforts appear to have had some success. There are dozens of photos of a teenage Wandel on a Polish modelling website, dating through until 2020. She even appeared in a professional video campaign for an event in her home city. At the same time, she was moving behind the lens. An Instagram account documented her work with professional models and makeup artists. She began studying to become an X-ray technician, but quit and then moved to the town of Lubin, where she lived in a flat with a boyfriend, her cats and her dog, each with their own Instagram account. In 2023, she began a university course in criminology before giving that up. So she never sticks to anything, does she? She never sticks to anything. That same year, according to some reports, she began to promote X-rated personalised content online. I wonder if that's like OnlyFans type thing that she was doing. You know, I wonder if she was doing some OnlyFans stuff. Again, you know, I do think that girls do experiment with this sort of thing, and perhaps boys, I don't know, but just people I know that have experimented with all these kind of things, but they haven't pretended to be Madeleine McCann. You know, the thing is, in this age that we live in, like when I was young, maybe I would have done those things that Julia's done. I wouldn't have pretended to be Madeleine McCann. But you didn't have the opportunity to do that then. You didn't have the internet, couldn't make a YouTube channel, couldn't be on OnlyFans, you could, you know, all these things. So maybe, you know, we shouldn't look too much into that. I think it's quite a common thing that young girls do. And I do think this celebrity culture that's emerged over the past 10, 15 years, you know, because of like X Factor, and everybody wants to be famous now. Young people want to be famous. They don't want to be train drivers or who they want to be a singer, or they want to be an actor. They're impressed by celebrity status so much more, aren't they? Then we didn't have celebrities in the way that we have them now. When I was young, I mean, there was a limited sort of thing of it, but not like now. Everything's celebrity based, isn't it? With the sort of the TV, I suppose, helped with that, the TV, and then everyone's, when I look at, like, I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here starting, isn't it, on Sunday, and I probably will watch it. It's on late though, again, like, for me here in Spain it's 10 o'clock before it starts, and I can't normally stay up for all of it. I normally stay up for the first hour or whatever. I forgot. Oh yeah, but half those people, I don't even know who they are. I wouldn't have a clue who they are. They're like these celebrities. They've literally, I don't know, got a blog or got a, I don't know. I don't even know what most of them have done. What are they celebrities for? They're not celebrities. Everyone's a bloody celebrity these days, aren't they? Anyway, so she applied to be a contestant on the Polish edition of The Voice and inquired about auditioning to appear on Britain's Got Talent. Oh, and a lot of these celebrities these days, I just wanted to add, they've got no talents. Their only talent is, I don't know, arguing online, or they sort of, people get famous for reasons that I don't understand. They've got no actual talent. Anyway, by then she'd begun to nurture doubts about her identity. By her own account, it was while she was in therapy that she began to think, maybe my mother is not my mother. In 2022, she contacted Find Madeleine, the official website, and funds set up to drive the hunt for the missing girl. And from June 2022, where's it gone? Keeps jumping. In June 2022, she began to make attempts to persuade anybody who was prepared to listen she was Madeleine McCann. And it was twin accounts on Instagram and TikTok, both called I Am Madeleine McCann, that fanned the flames in February 2023. In this febrile, conspiracy-driven online arena, they garnered almost immediate attention. Help me, I need to talk with Kate and Jerry McCann, read her profile description. More provocative still was the gallery of pictures she uploaded comparing her face with Madeleine's. There were videos too. In one, she showed marks on her body that were supposedly similar to Maddie's. She even claimed she shared Maddie's distinctive eye defect called a coloboma. Coloboma? Don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know how to pronounce anything these days. And then there were the memories she claimed she had of playing Ringa Ringa Roses with Madeleine's siblings. Agonisingly, she claimed to remember that Kate, on the night of Madeleine's abduction, rubbed her head and said, I love you. And her campaign was so shocking that in 2023, the Wandelt family put out a statement. Julka, which is an affectionate variation on Julia, once wanted to be a singer and a model. She always wanted to be popular. What's happening now has given her 1 million followers. Oh my God, we're scared, they said, and they were right to be. Anyway, her growing army of followers, Spragg among them, were only too happy to encourage her preposterous claims. She shared recordings of her calls to Kate and Jerry on social media, and she did a string of YouTube interviews with true crime host Sean Atwood. In a previous twist, her Madeleine content, much of it still online, is punctuated with videos of Wandelt singing everything from covers of Elvis, Billie Eilish, and Olivia Rodrigo to her own tracks. Some might question how such a troubled young woman, by her own account, she had suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, had self-harmed and attempted self-deletion, came to be standing trial at all. Yeah, I don't really understand how she came to stand trial, but I do think that the McCanns only took her to court in the end because she started on Sean and Amelie. I think that was the straw, wasn't it, that broke the camel's back. I mean, I think when she was sort of harassing Kate and Jerry, I think they sort of more or less just took it as, you know, just somebody else harassing them, you know, because they do get a lot of hate, of course, and they have done for years, ever since Madeleine disappeared. But I think when she started on Sean and Amelie, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back, wasn't it? And they just decided they had to stop this in its tracks. And I don't blame them for that. To be quite honest, I do not blame them. Because, you know, Sean and Emily, they're the innocents in this. So while she may indeed be vulnerable, the behaviour described in court was cruel. Evidently bright and articulate, she should have been capable of understanding the distress she's caused the McCanns, and particularly to Sean and Emily. Even in the face of indisputable DNA evidence, Julia continued to pour salt on their wounds. And when she was asked, "Do you, Julia Wandel, believe you may still be Madeleine McCann?" she said, "It's not yes and not no, I am in between." I hope she's not in between anymore. I really, really hope so. But she's not just purported to be Madeleine. By the start of 2023, she had laid claim to be at least 2 other missing children. A 5-year-old girl who disappeared from a family barbecue in Saxony-Anhalt, Germany in May 2015, followed by a 1-year-old who was kidnapped from her great-grandmother's house in Salt Lake City, Utah in 2003. So yeah, like we said, who's she going to pretend to be next? Amelia Earhart? Sugar? You know, who are other missing people? You know, she's going to come up with another one, isn't she? Or is she going to let it go now? Remember that song she sang on YouTube or on her social media, "Let It Go"? But Julie can't let it go, can she? Understandably, it's very painful for Jacek, who's watched everything unfold with dismay and helplessness. He hangs his head as he remembers the last time he saw her in December 2024. She said, "I wasn't her real dad, and Dorota wasn't her mother, and she had been kidnapped in Portugal, and we had raised her. And she asked me what I was doing in Portugal with Dorota, and I told her we had never been to Portugal, and she should stop saying things like this. Julia is not bad. She is sick and needs help." I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's a bad person. She is sick and she does need help. But until she admits that, she's not going to get it. Only she can lead that. Every day I think of her and I pray that she may get well. I know the McCanns have lost their daughter and they don't have any idea of what has happened, but I have lost my daughter too. And you know, it's true, he has lost his daughter. All the family have lost this girl. Whether that thought can ever soften the anguish that Julia Wandel has inflicted on the family of Madeleine McCann, only they can say. So, thing is, she's not only inflicted agony on the family of Madeleine McCann, has she? She's inflicted agony on her own family. Her own family. You know. Hi, Julie. How are you? Hope you're well. Yeah. So That's where we are. And as I say, so just to repeat what I said earlier, I mean, God, it was all a bit of a chaos earlier, wasn't it? I must remember next time I do a live stream, I'm not going to do the horizontal and the vertical because, oh my God, the trolls that were in at the beginning of this stream, what a chaos. And then I accidentally banned, you know, number one chatterati, number one snowflake, David Matheson. I accidentally banned him. Oh my God. Anyway, he's back. He's back with a vengeance. So yeah, it's been a bit of a strange stream if you're just coming in because there were it was Troll City for about the first 15 minutes. But you know, sometimes high profile cases always attract trolls. I don't know if they're trolls or bots. I don't know what it is. Somebody said that these bots go around. Maybe it's the name that attracts it. Maybe it's the Madeleine McCann name. Maybe it's the Julia Wandel name in the title or the description. I don't know what it is, but it's like inviting Satan into your world, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's like doing a Ouija board and getting, you know, bad influences coming in. It's horrible having trolls. It really is horrible. But anyway, it's even worse when you end up banning one of your favourite followers because by mistake. Anyway, he's back. So yeah, it's horrible to ban someone who, you know, one of my faithful followers. So anyway, it was an accident. I'm so sorry. Now, where are we going from here? So as I was saying earlier, I'm not going to talk about Julia anymore because I do think Julia wants attention. I don't think attention is helpful to her. You know, if because it's not even positive attention that she will get from me. Because I never believed for a minute she was Madeleine McCann. I know for certain now, but I knew for certain before. I don't know. It was a no-brainer. But anyway, so the only time I'm going to talk about Julia again is, well, obviously if anything happens in particular, but when she's sentenced, I will be talking about her sentencing either on a video or I may just do a community post. But I think we need to leave Julia alone now and just like, because remember what's at the heart of this is this girl that went missing. And now we've got Christian B. released from prison, who was supposedly this prime suspect, and now he's allowed to leave Germany, so he could be anywhere as we speak. So where are you going to Europe on holiday soon? He could be there at your resort, you know. And is he a child abductor or is he an rapist of elderly women? That'd be very unusual for someone to be both. Although, you know, predators, they do pick on vulnerable people, which could be young children or elderly people, I suppose. But it's very rare that, I think. Anyway, in my own personal opinion, I don't think Christian B has got anything to do with this case. He's a patsy. He's just been put up like, you know, he's a likely suspect, isn't he? But he's not, you know, there's no evidence. They keep saying there's all this evidence. Oh, yeah, I've got all this evidence. They haven't got the evidence because if they had the evidence, he was there, he was in prison. They could have just arrested him as soon as he was released and put him back in prison. So they obviously have not got any evidence. And I personally don't believe he's got anything to do with Madeleine's disappearance. But then you do think, well, where is he now then? He's been given permission to leave Germany. He could be living anywhere. He could be travelling around Europe. He could be next to you in the supermarket. You know, that's what's a bit worrying because at the end of the day, he is an SEX offender all the same, even if he didn't have anything to do with Madeleine's disappearance. But, you know, you can't keep people in prison forever. He served his sentence. And he's supposed to have this ankle tag thing on. I don't know how that works if he leaves Germany. Would they know then? Would that flag up that he'd left the country? Would it say where he is? So does it operate in all countries? How does he get on a plane? I would imagine he can't get on a plane with that bracelet round his leg, he wouldn't get through the metal detector, would he? But if he's been given permission to leave the country, anyway, to travel around Europe, he doesn't have to get on a plane. He can get on a bus. He can get in a car. He can travel. It's freedom of movement. He'd probably find it harder to get into the UK, I would imagine. But then could they stop him? If he's got his passport and there's no legal reason why he can't enter, would he maybe go on a small boat to the UK? Just, it's a crazy world, isn't it? It is such a crazy world. You're just like, what? How can he, how can he, have I got my crazy world? Oh, I haven't got my crazy world there. But, it is a crazy world. I need to put my crazy world back up. Need to put my crazy world back up so that I can because it is crazy, isn't it? So it's going to get crazier soon because we've got Christmas coming up. So let me know what you're up to for Christmas. It's only the 11th of November. I don't start doing anything for Christmas until the 1st of December. Having said that, I have ordered some Christmassy things from Temu I think it's the first time I've ever ordered from Temu. And I'm already really impatient because I'm used to ordering. If I order anything online, it's normally from Amazon because I get the Amazon Prime, the next day delivery. So you've got to wait. I think it's about a week for Temu. I think it's already been a couple of days. So keep checking it to see when it's arriving. But I will show you the things when they come, but they're not actually going to be worn, let's say, until December, because Christmas doesn't, if you start too early, it's just too much, isn't it? Christmas decorations everywhere, it goes on forever. And the thing you have to remember is here in Spain, Christmas doesn't finish until the 6th of January. So if you started it now, you're looking at 2 months. 2 months of talking about Christmas. It's just too much as I quite like Christmas now. I used to hate it, but I quite like it now. It's all right. 6th of January before it finishes here. So goes on. It's interminable, actually. It goes on and on and on. So you've got the Christmas, you've got like the sort of the Christmas, 25th, Christmas Eve, 25th of December, Boxing Day. Then you've got New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And then you've got 5th of January, 6th of January. So it's a long old celebration, Christmas here in Spain. But they do love their holidays and their fiestas. Okay, so I just wanted to come on and talk about Julia's family. I think that was a very eventful live, what with trolls and bannings and you name it, it's happened. I agree with you, Julia. Julia has an obvious illness. But yeah, she's been cruel to the McCanns. She has been cruel to the McCanns. Whatever we think of the McCanns, being harassed, and in my opinion, stalked, even though she wasn't found guilty of that. I think Karen Spragg or whatever her name is, she's been very lucky to get away with it. And how much has all that cost again? Carries on costing money to, I'm not a British taxpayer, thank God. But if you're a British taxpayer, you've all had to pay for that trial. Went on and on, didn't it? You've had to pay for all of it. And really, all that, and you'll be paying for Julia to be deported. So enjoy your day. What day is it? It's Tuesday. So enjoy your Tuesday. What's left of it. For some of you, it'll be probably late at night in some parts of the world where you are. And I'll see you really soon in the next video, where hopefully we won't have the same disaster. But I am going to cut this video down, cut out all the all the disasters and just release it as a shorter video without all the waffle as usual. Thank you so much, David. Yeah, hit the like. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you really soon in the next video, and until then, as always, may your God go with you. And just a prayer for Madeleine, because at the end of the day, Madeleine's at the centre of all this. And also, I hope Julia can find peace. I really hope so. Bye.